Last week on our Star Wars Hoth MOC, we did terrible things to a Tauntaun. This week we're going to do not so terrible things to the trench, because these guys need some help. How are we going to help them? Stick around to find out. Let's go! Hello and welcome to Lobricks. This is our weekly LEGO Star Wars Hoth MOC video. As you may or may not remember, last week we did horrible things to this Tauntaun in order to get the scene we wanted right from the movie. And it's no different than, what we did to poor Dak over here. Hopefully we're not getting a reputation for maiming and destroying LEGO, but hey, it is what it is. You need the integrity of the scene. So this week we have a couple of things planned, so make sure you stick around. First of all, we are got to do a little more groundwork for inside of Echo Base. But then we need to give some assistance to these guys out here in the trenches, because they're just getting, they're just going to get obliterated by these walkers. And I know several people have said, well, they're not, how could they be obliterated? There's not even one of them hurt. Well, we are going to have to put a couple of hurt guys down. But for now, we have two things we want to add to the board, and we have to add them in glorious fashion. And those are SnowSpeeders. We have one SnowSpeeder up here floating around that just took out this walker by this SnowSpeeder here. But that SnowSpeeder is so high up in the air, you're like, well, that doesn't quite work. So we are going to lower that speeder, and we're going to be putting two more speeders on the board that are either hovering over the trenches to help the attack, or one might be coming out of the door. We're still figuring that out, so you're gonna have to stick around to find out. And don't forget to wait till the very end of the video, because we always put new minifigures on the board. So let's get building. All right, first things first, we gotta put down some more groundwork inside of Echo Base. And the question is where to do it. So there's really two primary places we wanna put groundwork. One is on the left side of the hangar bay, and the other is on the right side of the hangar bay. So we are going to be focusing on the left side right now. And again, what we are doing is showing the areas that are walked upon, making them more roughed up instead of the nice, pristine, snowy areas like where the troop transport travels. So let's get to it. All right, let's do a flyover of the ground area we just did. Looking good. We didn't go too far under the Falcon because we knew there'd be an overhang under there and not a whole lot of action. There are parts where we put some basically trodden upon snow under the Falcon because we knew people were going to be working on it. And we tapered it off towards the end because that's where there'd be less foot traffic and there'd be more just fresh snow or ice. So that looks pretty good. So there's two more places where we want to do trodden upon work, back in here, and the troop transport ends right about here, so it'd probably be here, back all the way into that corner. We have to do the command center and the medical bay. The command center, we are still going to put more people down, so we want to make sure we understand the number of people we're going to have in there before we totally put down the bottom. Then the other place, if you follow the troop transport along, is right here along this right side of the hangar bay. So that is the other place we need to do more groundwork, so it makes it look like the rebels have been hard at work trodden upon the snow. And the hangar exit, we are also going to have some bit of tromping, but not much, because this is pretty much going to be clear for when the speeders exit. And speaking of speeders, it is speeder time. All right, I have assistant here with me, and we have to decide where to put these two speeders, because two speeders are going on the board today, and I would like them along the trench. Now we're not going to do coming out of the trench yet. We are going to have one flying out of the hangar bay doors, but that isn't quite done yet, so that's going to be in a future episode. So there'll be one more kind of flying out here from the hangar bay doors. So this week, we're going to put 2 along the trench on translucent blocks. And the question I have for you, assistant, is where?
All right, so we have our prototype cannon here. This is not the one we're going to use. It's more of just a placeholder.
And we're going to have 2 of those guys.
That's going to be somewhere right around here, and then there's going to be another one down there. So we're going to have to keep that in mind, that there's going to be something like this here. I want them flying tandem, so like this.
Oh, excellent.
Because that's how it is in the movie. So, I think right around this area would be good.
Now there's one thing, if we have them too close to the walkers, it makes the walkers look a little...
Well, if we're going to have another one flying out the door...
Oh, you're right.
Then these guys, I want maybe right here.
That'll work. And then we'll have some flanking them on the other side.
Yeah, I kind of want some, maybe like some tandem. Something like this.
All right.
Basically one in front of the other around this area. We're going to have one over here and having another 2 right here.
And everybody asked how many speeders we're going to have. So we have 3 there.
3.
3, 1 up there. Whoop. Where is it? There. 2 more, and then 2 more. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got Dak smashed. And then kind of the fakey one.
Right back here.
Yes.
Isn't really, I don't know what version of the speeder that one is.
I don't know.
I think it's an older version of it.
I call it the old crapper. That's
Yeah.
why it's under repair and they're fixing it.
Because if you look, this one isn't nearly as good.
No.
That's
A
why.
lot more orange on it. So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
10.
10. Total of 10 speeders.
10.
Yep. Now, we may want to have, I wouldn't mind having one more kind of flying around on the back attack, but we'll see.
Yeah, it all depends, honestly.
Yep. So, are we in agreement, assistant? Right now I'm going to have 2 here and here. And I don't think it'll look too wonky. Might be a little in scale
weird,
with the
but,
walkers,
you know,
but
it is what
it is what it is. I could have one at this height, and then this outside one a little higher.
I kind of want to be both at the same height.
Ah, okay.
But I don't want them too low to where it blocks.
Well, how about slightly different height, just so there's a little bit of
yeah.
they're not so symmetrical.
Yeah.
So just like almost like half a ship height higher than the other one.
Yep.
And slightly in front of it. All right. Well, I'm going to switch over to hyperlapse mode and hang these suckers up. Well, not hang them up. What is that? Mount from the bottom? What do you call that? Mount them?
Something like that.
All right, there is speeder number 1 flying out of the trench toward the battle. See it at a little bit of an angle so we see what it looks like from a scale perspective. Not terrible. And just out over the trench. Now it is time to mount speeder number 2, which is going to be more to the right and slightly above this guy. So let's go back to hyperlapse mode and mount speeder 2. All right, so there are the speeders. And I'll tell you what, that looks pretty darn cool. But you know what looks cooler? This looks way cooler. With the speeders tilted on an angle, let's take a fly around real quick and look at them at their tilted angle. Pretty darn cool. So let's show you how we did this technique to get them flying on an angle like that. All right, the simple way of doing this technique is using 2 hinge pieces. And what I like to do is have the hinges mounted on the speeder, and you'll see what I mean by that in a minute. All right, since we want the speeder mounted on the side this way, we have to put the hinge piece on there. And there you go. And the nice thing about the hinge, it's a little loose, so it could kind of swerve down and stuff like this, but it's adjustable. So you can have a slight tilt or a less slight tilt, so when you have the two of them next to each other, we can adjust them to the exact tilt that we want. All right, so there are our two speeders zooming out to join the battle. But we have one more thing we have to do, and it is speeder related. That speeder just took out this AT-AT with this tow rope, and we get a lot of questions. Hey, you gonna take out an AT-AT with a tow rope? Yes, we are! But I can understand why people get confused, because this speeder is way up in the air. So this guy needs to be lowered right to about here. We don't want it too low, then it makes the scaling look a little too ridiculous. It's also not low enough so we can kind of see it coming in for the kill on that AT-AT's head. Here's the speeder's POV. Nice shot, Jansen.
Yeah, I'm gonna just replace this string.
Ah, Wedge, I'm feeling really dizzy. Shut up, Jansen, you idiot. Jansen's still upset about what happened to Dak.
What happened to that? Oh, yeah, he got smooshed. Well, would Jansen know? He was in the fighting speeder, I guess. If
Well, a lot of his buddies were going down left and right in this battle. SnowSpeeders were blowing up.
Well, it's like in World War I, right? You have a buddy, you better not get too acquainted with him, because he's not. He's like he's got a time span. Very cold, snowy nights, and only Jansen was there to keep me warm. Just their calling card.
Oh. Well,
His socks. Back end has detached.
oh. Jansen! You know, I take back that good shot Jansen stuff.
Good shot, Jansen. You've shot the walker. Oh, jeez, I'm doing good. Jansen was just an intern.
He was like a young guy.
He was like, did I do good? Did I do good, Captain? He's like, well, I mean...
Well, when your captain's name is Wedge, I mean, that's...
Get blown up.
No, Jansen lives. Jansen and Wedge. As far as I know. Yeah, well, Wedge makes it back because he's like, they're in the like staging area and he's like, we'll see you, Luke. So Jansen must have made it. But Dak
does not make it.
Dak is dead. Squished. He gets stomped on by walking trash.
So that's the back end mount right there. It's a little farther back.
No, it's good.
I need to drill though. Assistant. Ah, thank you.
Sir.
We have a new temp on Lobricks.
It's the nuke.
It's a temp. It's like Thomas from Regular Show.
They don't pay me.
Hey,
Right.
temps and interns don't get paid. It's valuable experience.
We gotta lower this guy into the proper position.
There. That's good.
Stabilize it.
How does that compare with the other speeders across the way?
Well, we can.
That's good. That's good.
We
Where it
can
was.
rotate it over like this to get it to do a better, maybe a better dive angle here to there.
I like it.
So that's what we'll do.
What do you say, assistant, the nuke? Uh-oh.
We got bigger problems to deal with.
Yeah. Well, he just got taken out. I mean, they're under fire.
This is an active battle zone and construction zone.
Battle and construction.
There's slight damage to the speeder.
Fix it. Okay, so now
Raise her up. Ooh, that is a good dive angle right there. Look at that.
I agree.
Even Jansen could hit that. Oop.
All right, all we gotta do is get it tied into place now.
This is multitasking Lobricks. We've never done this. We've never had this kind of staff before. That's a lot of staff. We're expanding. We're getting unpaid assistants and interns.
Oh, we've always had unpaid assistants.
I pay you with kindness and with bricks.
Yes.
That's a good dive angle.
Food would be good.
Food.
One day.
I'll buy you a taco.
That is true. I do. My diet is exclusively Taco Bell.
Actually, you're a chalupa man, aren't you?
Recently I've been kind of more of like a hexagon kind of guy.
Oh, the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, the meat squares.
Meat squares. You dirty walker. You killed Dak. I'm gonna get you. All right, assistant, I think we're ready for your final review and putting some minifigures on the board.
All right, so everything is looking really good with all the detailing that's been done here within Echo Base. I do like all of this greebling.
Grable.
Looks really, really good. I think if we continue it on over through this area, we can get a really cohesive looking Echo Base. But
I have a question, assistant. Did I overdo it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I like how it cuts off where people wouldn't be walking, like alongside the Millennium Falcon here. Looks really good.
And I did cut it off too as it gets along the walls.
Yes, as well. So and it's going to be a little light here in the center.
And what do you feel about the speeders?
I do like the speeders, but I couldn't help but notice that they're not piloted by anybody. So I figured that's the minifigures we could add today were some pilots. So I selected some pilots. I've got 2 generic Rebel pilots here and then 2 Luke figures. I'll just put the Lukes in the gunman's position. You won't be able to see them back there. We have so many Lukes and we need to put them in these speeders. So
I noticed something.
That's what we're gonna do.
Because a lot of people are like, that's Luke, you can't have all these Lukes. But in the scene where Princess Leia is briefing the pilots, we'll show it right here. There's a lot of guys that have this helmet.
Yeah. So we can just say, oh yeah, that's not Luke. That's actually Dave Miguel.
Yep.
You see, that's the trick.
They all have one-word names like Dak and Jansen. I'm sure Jansen has a first name, and I'm sure people will tell us what it is. But I want to name each one of these. I'm going to call him the Fonz. This is going to be Flubber. Denkins
and El Fernando.
El Fernando. But instead of Dak, we'll call him Zach.
Nope, El Fernando.
El Fernando.
We gotta have some...
Like Carlito.
Yes, of course. So these guys are going to be placed inside here. This is gonna be a little hard to do on camera. All right, so let's populate these speeders. We're gonna put the Luke-looking figure in the back, which is actually the newer, nicer figure. And then the more generic pilot up front here. Into the SnowSpeeder they go. We gotta make sure this doesn't gonna fall over. And then this one is really sketchy. It's not,
ooh,
like I said, it's really sketchy.
Really sketchy.
Not really on there the greatest. We'll have to put the speeder back up. There we go. Now they're populated with figures. I wanted to get this one more on. And they're flying tandem. Pretty cool, if I'd say so myself. But anyway, guys, with that, that's going to do it for today. I think everything we did definitely looks good here, and we're definitely going to have to be doing a lot more stuff like this in the future. If you did like today's episode and you want to see more, don't forget to check out the member program. We have all super cool stuff behind the scenes. You can see, you get to see all sorts of stuff like us swearing. Ooh. You get to see my face. Ooh. That's always good stuff, and you get to see us talking about future plans for the MOC, and most of the time, the member video, you also get to sneak peek at the Wednesday videos as well.
And we send members free goodies.
Free goodies as well, so if you are interested in that, definitely check it out, but if you just want to keep watching our updates weekly, definitely do so, because we appreciate the viewership. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for today. And we do appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can't miss out on next week's video. But we will see you in the next one. Later.